All right, so I tried another video on the computer, just ain't working. I don't know if it's the weather. It's really bad today. And I normally record outside on my porch, but the wind is just crazy, and so I'm going to do it here. So the next thing I want to talk about is synchronicities and the things that happen when we have an experience or we fall on something that Spirit sends us that sends us down a rabbit hole or another path. I live in Alabama, in central Alabama, and where I live particularly, there's some cave systems, there's a lot of woods, there's a lot of clear cutting, so that we can all have toilet paper, I guess. But there's a particular road near a mill. It's called Grist Mill, the Kamoga Grist Mill, and there's a particular piece of woodland that I drive past every day going to work. And 2 times I have seen a image, well, not an image, I've seen a being. Beautiful, long red hair, porcelain skin, and a brilliantly bright turquoise, what I would consider a ball gown. Could just be an old southern, hoop skirt, but looks more like a ball gown to me. It doesn't have that wired bottom kind of feel to it. Running literally through the woods for a few seconds, and then she's gone. I've seen her twice. Radiant red hair. Very vibrant turquoise. Seems to be kind of like a silk batting fabric. I've looked online. I've asked around. Supposedly it's someone that a lot of people see. But I've never really gotten an answer that answers or seems to couple with what I saw. The clothing's not right, what have you. So one of the things I've been listening to lately on the computer and on podcast are the teachings of Kryon, the channelings of Kryon. I'm not sure where Kryon is from. He's an extraterrestrial being who's channels messages. I'll put a link to to his main page down below. But one of the ones that caught me the other day, as I was driving exactly through that spot on my way to work, and I go 4 a.m, so it's dark. He was talking about our relationship to the earth and this new earth, this fifth dimension's coming in, and our relationship to Mother Gaia and the earth itself, and how we are going to reconnect with the earth and start to take care of our mother and all the beings on the planet, because it's not just us. 2 things popped up that day. One, he talked about the color of Gaia herself, the goddess, as being a brilliant turquoise, and that if we saw this color, it would, just kind of blow our socks off. He talked about the blending of the green and the blue to make the turquoise, which I thought was, how he talked about it was just beautiful. Another thing that day was talking about turquoise. Again, it popped up about and again, it was about Gaia, the goddess spirit that is our Mother Earth, being turquoise, and how it was a combination of the heart chakra, which is green, and the throat chakra that was blue, and the blending of our heart and our voice in this new earth, this new dimension that is coming out. And it connected, and I was immediately taken to that turquoise dress. One of the things about spirit and about the gods and goddesses that is kind of hard to take when we're on a path is that they appear to us all differently as we see them, as we know images to be. You can't imagine something that has no form without your brain trying to give it an image that it can understand, that it can relate to. So for a lot of us, Karnunas being a huge part of that, we see them differently. What immediately got me when I was hearing this was that not shortly after I saw the two images, all that land had been clear cut. There was no more woods left. And immediately what popped into my head about hearing this all that day was that who I had seen, what I had seen, was Gaia herself, in whatever form it was that I, took on that day, which was that beautiful, radiant redhead. I took it to be, we honor Epona in this house, which is one of the faces of Rhiannon. My partner Jim is a devotee of hers, and she is featured on my main altar and then also on his personal altar to her. Believed that to be her. I also believe them to be, one and the same. It was so intense, and she was so real. Literally just this woman running through the woods. I'll put an image up of her as she's on her altar, and who I saw was pretty much this image. This connection to turquoise, and that that the whole day was just kind of consumed again in color. I saw it everywhere I went, more so than normal. So I took it as that was something that I needed to really connect with and look into. So one of the things I'm going to focus on in 2022 is working with the divine that is in me, working with the divine that I see on a daily basis, trying to find the beauty in everything and everyone. One of the drawbacks to this new job that I've got, even though it's in the same place I was before, is that I'm constantly exposed to lower vibration people who I need to try to find the good in. Not me, these days we seem to be magnets for, if you're an elevated person, and you have to be watching this channel, we seem to be magnets for everything that is low. And I know that they seek our light. And it's hard sometimes to separate that from, what we feel inside. And sometimes it's just hard to stay positive and keep a smile on our face and love in our heart. And that's what I'm going to try to do. I feel that that is what, for me, that is what is going to be a focus lately. I encourage all of you to seek out who the goddess is in your world, that goddess energy. I'm a firm believer that we're both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Some of us being that physical manifestation of that being. But we have to have the other to create balance. And so find that who that is for you. Get in touch with that divine being and allow Kryon and the divine masculine and the divine feminine to unite in you and be part of you and help you through this new path, this new year that we're approaching, and create the world that we want to create. I was having a conversation with my new friend Clinton the other day, and he was talking about his experience with Mother C, S-E-E, and her three faces. And unbeknownst to him, we honor the goddess in the three phases, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So he saw, connection there. I know that this new earth, this new dimension, this new Aquarian age that we're going into will be goddess ruled. We're going into an age of the goddess, of creation, of birth. The age of the god gave us the seed. He gave us the idea, the things that we want to develop and bring about. And this new age of the goddess will birth those ideas, will nourish those ideas. There are those of us who are seeing the goddess in pure form, just as we see him, Cernunnos, in form. And if any of you doubt, this has come up a couple of times in conversations with me lately, with people that I've been working with, on how do they know what they're seeing is real, and how do they know it's not a memory or fabrication. I do believe that we will see them. I don't think everybody will. No, that's not true. I think everyone will. Not everyone will make the connection. I think it's very sad that we think 2,000 years ago people could have miracles and communicate with the gods and see that, and today we can't. That just makes no sense at all. I see a huge movement to the old ways, the ancient teachings, which is just wonderful to me. I know that the youth of today aren't going to use the same paradigms and follow the same matrix that we were hammered into as children. Once again, I'm honored that he brought me into your world and you into my world.